My name is Fama Rain and I use C-sponge tampons. If you've seen videos about these tampons, then you've probably seen that none of them have strings and they are hard and disgusting and you have to pull them out and feel them with your hand and they're gross and no. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the 100% full truth, and I'm telling you why I do it, how I do it, and everything in between. These are the tampons. I don't really usually keep them in this jar. I usually keep them in this little bag that I have specifically for them. Then I have a little traveling bag. But this is my cleaning jar when I clean the tampons, and I'll get into that later, but I figured I'd put it in here so you can see them. In the pack that I bought, I'll put a link down below of where I got them. I got them off Amazon, but they're really cool. They come from this really awesome company. It's a third-party seller, and they locally source them from Greece, and they do have a string, and it's made out of organic cotton. And so it's just really cool. It takes a while for it to come just because it's coming from Greece, but I really like their product and it's pretty awesome. Yes, I chose this product mainly because it had a string and it was from Greece and it was like a pure sea sponge. And through research and stuff, you know, tampons aren't good for, number one, the environment, and number one, for you. You're putting up like fibers full of bleach and chemicals into your vagina, and it's that your vagina is absorbing that. So I wanted something more natural on my vagina and something better for the environment. And I know a lot of people do use the Diva cup and it works for them, but for me, I was like, I don't want plastic on my on my hoo-ha. I want something pure and natural. So I chose the sea sponges and I really love them. I just got my clean towel to put this on because I want to be clean. The honeycomb and this one, and I don't know the name of this one, but this one's more absorbent. I've never stuck this one on my vagina purely because it is huge, but they said that you can just cut them to fit it for your vagina, so I'll probably do that later. I haven't needed to use this because this tampon is one that is less absorbent, so it's kind of used on your lighter days, and it doesn't seem that way because it's really big, but it doesn't have as many like tiny little pores. And this baby is smaller but more absorbent, and these are the ones I typically use more often. They're pretty tiny and they are hard now. I mean, they're not that hard because they're a little wet, but before I put it up there, I literally fill it with water and I squeeze it, and it's so malleable. It's so easy. Like, you just roll up. I just roll it up into a little ball, or I fold it and you can't really feel it's there. And this is an easy fix for me because it really was. Like, it wasn't that hard, that big of a deal. I did get my period traveling, so I did have to use tampons then. But whenever I can, I'm gonna want to use these little babies. They're great. They're really comfortable, and I would say they don't last as long as the normal tampon, but they last pretty long. As a normal tampon, because I would keep mine in for like 8 hours, which is obviously not good, but I can do that with these. I can keep them in for like 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours, I think, which is very reasonable. And they're really easy to bring with you and bring up a backup. I have one in my backpack right now. They come with a tiny little cotton bag, so you just put your extra in there, and that's kind of your backup. You know, when you would keep little tampons and pads in your backpack, that's my backup. I have a sea sponge tampon. So yeah, that's kind of why I do it, and just a little overview about that. Now I'm going to show you how I use it and what I do to prevent any grossness or infection and stuff like that. So let's head into my bathroom. Apologies if this isn't straight or if the audio sucks. I'm sorry. First off, I'm just gonna try to show you how I put it up there with my hands. I just take the sponge. Obviously I wash my hands first, but I already did that step. And then I just kind of like squeeze it, and it gets like really like, woo, like very, woo. say this is my vagina. I don't know if a vagina holds this big. Let's make it tinier. I just kind of squeeze it and then I go like, boop. I think that's what I do. It's really hard to use your hand as a vagina. It goes in pretty easy usually, and then the worst part I have to say about using C-spun tampons is the cleanup. That's the worst part about it. Basically when I take it out, it's not that big a deal because you got the string. So you take out the string and I have to immediately put it on the tampon and or else I start bleeding. So I'll usually just take like toilet paper and then put it on there and then put it in my other one. And sometimes I'll wait a really long time to clean it. Or sometimes I'll just do it right then and there. So I'll put the water on. I just kind of let the sea sponge absorb and the water and push out the blood naturally as much as I can. But the worst time is when there's mucus in there. I don't mind the blood, but the mucus is so disgusting. So then when there's like little patches of blood that you know you gotta get out, you kind of like squeeze it. And then you just kind of go like this and you like squeeze it some more until like it's out fully. It's so gross sometimes. Obviously, hand washing is a must. When I clean it, I usually just keep it out. I have a designated area for my dirty tampons that are like blood free. And I call them dirty because I haven't bacterialized them yet. So sponges and vaginal canal area is very prone to growth and bacteria. So reusable tampons is great as long as you clean them. You do not want some bacterial fungus like growing up there. It's very easy for that to happen if you don't take precautions. I was reusing, in one cycle, I was reusing this one tampon like a couple times after cleaning the blood off of it, because I couldn't find my other ones. And I already noticed like it hurt, it started to hurt, it started to smell weirder, like weirder than usual. It was starting to get gross, and then I realized, I was like, oh my god, I know why this is happening. I didn't clean it. So definitely a must. But all I do is I take the tampons and I put them in, like I said, the jar. You can use a blend of however many oils or things that you want to add into it, but I recommend having tea tree oil as the #1 Yahoo. Like, this is the main essential oil that you probably should be using, because this is literally like destroys every bacteria, not every bacteria, but a lot of bacteria and funguses that are common in this kind of stuff. So this just like punches them in the face. So this is definitely the one to use. And a little disclaimer, just make sure you're not allergic to any of these oils and that it's safe for you to use, because if you're like, you've never used tea tree oil before and you put it in your tampon and there's some remnants and then you put it up your vagina, you do not want an allergic reaction. So just check with your doctor, check with your whatever, just make sure that it is okay for you to use this. And then sometimes I'll add eucalyptus because that also helps, and peppermint, but I don't always, and a lot of times it's just the tea tree oil that really gets it. For me, I don't really know how many drops I use. I would say at least 1 per sponge, which is like really crazy, but enough so you can smell it. But I always use hot water because hot water also kills germs and bacteria as well. So hot water, let's get it. All right, so hot water, and then for experimental purposes, I'm just gonna put in 1 drop or a couple. Honestly, just gauge however you think is good. And then I just take the lid and I shake it up so it gets all in there and you can get every crevice of every freaking tampon. Sometimes I'll have it sit for a couple days and then redo it. I never just do it once and then I'm done because I don't want all that oil up there. So maybe like whenever I get the chance. Honestly, I don't do it like religiously. This is after my period, so I have a whole month. But I'll probably, if this were normal, I would leave this overnight, 2 days, and then whenever I'm taking a bath or shower and I get motivated again, then I will refill it with just hot water and not the oil, and I'll do that like a couple times just to make sure the bacteria is killed, but also make sure the majority of the oil is away because I don't want just a bunch of oil in my vagina. It's okay if there's like a scent because every time you take it out you'll smell the tea tree oil, but I just don't want it to be too pungent and too oily, but with a little oil it's fine, honestly. That is why I use C-sponge tampons and how I use them. I'm not really sure what else I should cover. If you have any questions down below, I would love to answer them, of course. So just leave a question or a comment or whatever you feel like doing. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far or even just watched 1% of it, means the world to me. So thank you so much. Peace, love, and something else. Bye.